All right, 2 sleds, 1 shop. Casey's in town finally. Yeah, these puppies, you got yours for $450, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got mine for $500. We got them last year. We almost got this one ripping and got everything together, brought her out to the front yard, and she was running. She'd start up first pull every time. It was the most beautiful thing. And I lay into the throttle the first time, it just bogged right down. It was a depressing day. His, however, is an absolute beast, and we took it up to Priest, and we're doing wheelies and crazy stuff on it. How much does that engine make? Like 100?
This is like
horsepower?
110. It's brand new. So
yeah,
maybe 100.
Yeah,
we're lucky.
A little coolant juice seeping in there. Yeah. So basically, what's going on with this one? I had it running again, and it seized up on me. It's that side that seized up, and it seized up on the lower end of the piston rod, and I can't get the engine out because it has this welded in divider that the centrifugal torque converter sits on the other side of, and this thing is an absolute pain to remove. You need this special tool, which I have inserted in here. I'm literally about to pull this thing out, which I'm super stoked for. But this tool, I didn't have it. I ended up ordering it online. And here, I'm so glad that I have editing skills now.
I know.
It's so amazing.
You gotta add that in there just because.
Yeah, I think that thing's finally ready to start actually pushing. This is exciting.
Out is what you're doing.
Yeah, taking the engine out. I wasn't able to before because I didn't have that tool. This thing is literally entirely disconnected, ready to come out. But I tried like 8 different methods on how to get these out. I used all of the YouTube powers, and it just was not having it. I need to put this back together too. The spring assembly I ended up taking off because I thought that I could like pull this side of it off too without taking the whole thing out. That didn't end up working. So I have to take this off, get the engine out, pull the block into, get to that bearing, replace it, and I'm diving right into taking this out just because it's been the biggest teaser for forever, and now I can actually take it out.
You may still have to refund for it. Oh no.
No, it came off. It is off. Wow. Yeah, as soon as I took the second take, I was like, oh my god, that's like 3 inches closer to me. Alright. Wedding song. Getting married.
I did the first couple notes. I didn't do the whole
I love you so much. When the first note. Your normal laugh is starting to sound like that. So if you're a monetized YouTube video, there's like no cussing, right?
Yeah. Well, I think you're allowed a certain amount of cuss words.
A certain amount. It's like a cuss bank. Yeah. Interesting.
Per video or per hour.
I wonder if it affects how much like people make, like if Markiplier swears.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But like just off the pay, like not like actually give. You know, they don't get a timeout. Man, that smells. Yeah. It's not burning throttle cable. It smells great though.
Don't burn all this foam.
Not in the foam.
Just go kablooey.
And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the engine's out. We got a little distracted. It's still on fire. Oh no, the engine's over here. We got it out. It was pretty fun when this thing came out. We had, I mean, it was not fun at all. It was terrifying. We put heat on it and put like 1,000,000 pounds of force with this whole breaker setup, and it was like a gunshot. But I was so scared that these threads were about to give out. Look at this last one. Look, they're starting to get strained. Like, that was scary. Okay. I wonder if it ran out of threads on this thing. This isn't like a super specific tool.
It Could have.
Oh man, we should have checked that before it was off. Did you have to ratchet this out?
No.
No, it was free.
Come on out, yeah.
Oh, then maybe it didn't matter.
So which bearing is bad?
This one.
Really?
Yep. See, you can feel it. And it's not in its bad spot right now.
Yes, it is not good. So I think that's everything. Look for bolts coming from the top and bottom. Oh, is that
Yeah?
tap apart?
Yeah.
So it's just
I don't know, let's just try and pull on it real quick. Okay, it's not working. Oh, nope, there's a spot right here. Watch. This is for this. Okay, put some pressure on it. Yep, there she goes.
nice. I got a spot over here too, actually.
Alrighty, we're back at it a day later. I have a little bit of explaining to do. We have my engine entirely torn apart. His is half torn apart because he doesn't have to do this baloney. So this is my main problem here. This bearing right here, as you can see, this one is not moving whatsoever, and this one is moving freely. This is what we need this one to do, and hopefully once I put this in, it'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna need a few more things than that. Let's take a quick closer look at the area surrounding the bearing that seized up. You can see major discoloration on both sides of the crankshaft surrounding the pin, plus discoloration extending down the piston rod. When this bearing seized up, it got hot enough to warp both the piston rod bearing housing and the pin of which the bearing rests on. I had to replace both of those items too, along with the bearing. I would just unbolt this, but as you can see, there's no bolts, because it's all press fit together. We tried our hardest to get it apart with the tools that we have, being PB Blaster and Fire, and that didn't work. So now we're gonna try PB Blaster, Fire, and hydraulic pressure. And that is a hydraulic setup. So the main tool that we're gonna use in here is this puppy. And what this thing does is it just slowly expands. So what I'm gonna have to end up doing is putting this between there and just slowly prying out. Gotta get it as close to here as possible so I'm not prying out, you know, at an angle up here, because otherwise I could warp something and crack something, and something's probably gonna break. Hopefully not. How is this project going?
I think it's
Oh, we're drawing pictures.
yeah, make it look pretty. Now I'm gonna see what my wear pattern is. See how uneven it is. Cause I have no idea. This is my lubricant. Soap. Probably not good if I'm using a Sharpie as my.
Yeah, probably not. Oh well. So yeah, last season his sled was leaking a bunch. There's definitely coolant residue all over the place on this thing. But yeah, while we were out on the trail, it kept spewing it out the front mainly. And it was just because the head wasn't surfaced properly, or it was just a little warped. You think we warped it, or do you just think it was probably...
I warped, yeah, it's bad.
Oh, holy
Not even
yeah.
at all. Over there's high. Over here is obviously high. The center's high. Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. You pump, you
It's
hold.
going to be good, yes. Should we get some heat on it first?
Yeah, I'd
A
use
little
that.
bit?
Just
Okay, I'm gonna heat it up on this side.
Just a hair.
Yeah, just a not like we can do much more with this thing. Okay, and go, and go, and go. Nailed it. I'm gonna apply a little bit of heat to this, not too much, because we're working with cast iron and it can crack really easily. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Is it like really hard to push? Okay. Case, you know another thing that I could do? I can probably just take this in.
What?
Take the crankshaft in. Anywhere. They'll probably just do it for me. They probably do those all the time. Like take it into a motorsport shop.
Call in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, before I really screw something up, I'm just gonna try and do that in the morning. For now, I'm gonna get this puppy cleaned up because she's a mess. This thing's nasty. Very, very nasty. I was doing a lot of property maintenance right next to it, and I ended up pouring a lot of dust in here. It was sitting under a tree too, so it got a lot of leaves in it, which isn't the best, but nothing a little elbow grease can fix. Let's get cleaning. Okie dokie, bit of a time gap, and holy cow, have these sleds been hectic. I'll catch you up on Casey's sled, which no longer exists. We got it up and running, and regrettably I didn't catch any of it on camera, but we take it out, we do some laps in the backyard, and then he lets me hop on it. I take a few laps in the front yard, and at that point he's like, we should go across the field. I take it across the field. I open her up for like a sec, probably like 2-3 seconds, let off of just, pure fear because I'm going like really fast. And after I let off the throttle, about like 1 or 2 seconds go by, and then the thing just, and all I hear is the whirring of the belt over the engine wheel that is not spinning anymore. We take it in, open it up, and it looks like one of the bearing rollers got into the cylinder and just had a heyday in there. It was destroyed. So we sold that to somebody, and he got a new sled. He got one of the Summit 700s, and that thing is really cool. I'm excited to get mine going so that we can go out and do some sledding together. By the way, this is my first rendition of some Marvel armor. It's not sewed on. I forgot to take it off before I came out. This is actually turning out pretty cool. I've got some videos so far, and I'll make a video about this because this is really cool. But yeah, so my sled, on the other hand, we're making good progress on it. Getting the whole crankshaft situation figured out was a pain in the butt because I couldn't press apart the crankshaft on my own, so I couldn't get that bearing out. And after taking it into a shop and getting it pulled apart, I then learned that I actually did have to replace the rod and some other things. I have it back from the shop. It's sitting right here. I have the crankcase all assembled. I have all the seals and stuff in. I have the stator and everything on and hooked up, wires coming out of it. And as you can see, it spins nice and freely now, which is awesome. The only resistance there is the magnet. It would spin like super freely before I put that on. But yeah, as you can see, this rod is the new one. This one I was just able to keep in there. There was nothing damaged on that end of it. So my next step is going to be taking the pistons and putting them on the end of there. I need to press these, back through once I get it on there. I might end up putting these through the freezer. If I took the pins all the way out and then put them through the freezer, that might be our best option, because then these will be nice and small and we'll be able to just toss them right through. They weren't too hard to slide in there, so I might just be able to press them back through. Yeah, I got these cleaned up. They were pretty gross, especially on the insides, because I had this thing sitting totally open basically for a while. Like the hood of the sled was closed. By the way, it's really crowded in here. With the extreme snowfall that we've been having, moving stuff out has been really difficult, especially like Scarlett, because she's really low to the ground. She is completely lost out there. And then the Isuzu we've been working on recently, getting that carburetor fixed up. I think one of the main jets must still be clogged or not working right or something. So still trying to figure that out. But yeah, having this place so crowded has definitely been affecting productivity in here, which isn't the best. But I think I'm gonna start getting it kind of cleaned out, just bite the bullet and start pushing the stuff through the snow, because
because having all this stuff in here, again, it just really doesn't do good as far as productivity goes. Also, I have a one-piece flag hung up now. That was the one-piece flag on my boat, which you'll also be seeing soon. Once I get the Isuzu out of here, I need some more room. I need more room. It like sketches me out so much. I don't know, just like recently I've been so sketched out about compression engines. Like, it's so sketchy. Like, how these things don't blow up blows my mind. I guess it's just because it's, you know, I mean, it does make sense, but at the same time, it's just scary to think of. Let's do the retaining ring before we get too happy about it. I'm gonna turn that back on. I like that, so that you can see this gorgeous, delicious dead spider. Yeah, muy tasty. All right, let's get this straightened out. I wanted it straight. It had other plan. Okay, now let's try and install it. Let's put this in there. Okay, no clue why the camera wasn't rolling. I thought it was rolling. So, piston's on. I think you saw that. I really don't know though. And now I'm just getting these cylinder walls ready to go. I just gotta put these intake manifolds back on, and I can actually throw it on the sled. Get it going. I'm gonna torque them to, I expect what was that? Okay, so the next step in the process is putting the cylinder walls on the actual engine. And before I do that, I do want to oil up this cylinder wall real quick. Oh yeah. And you just want to do this so that it doesn't have a really hard time starting up, you know, the first time that you get it going, because there won't be any oil on the cylinder walls if you didn't put it there. I mean, the oil will get there pretty quick because it is a two-stroke. Although, you know, like when you are starting up, especially if you're dealing with carburetors that haven't been, you know, running in a while or something, or just, you know, an engine that is going to take a few pulls to get started, and or you just need to run the fuel through the carburetor and lines, you're going to be pulling it for a decent bit before the fuel and oil actually gets in there. So you want to make sure that it's nice and lubricated so it has a nice and easy time starting up the first time, and everything is fully lubricated before the natural lubricants make their way to their destined locations. So just gonna make sure that we got nice good oil coverage on the inside of this cylinder. Good, 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 good. All right, my next step is to finally close up the engine. And that kit that I got did come with new gaskets, which is great. Good boy. You don't want to go in your box? You don't want to go in your box? Alright, so our next step here is going to be tightening up these three and that one. Got all those torqued down. Now let's try and get this fan shroud on. I think I'm just gonna try and get this belt underneath the pulley. Come on now. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Bada bing, bada boom. One more major problem is standing in my way. If you look down there, you'll see that there is a little hole, and that is the side of my oil pump. Now, I lost the plate that covers up that hole. Making these videos is so freaking fun. I just get to work for hours on end and mess up over and over and over, and then post it on the internet in a much shorter form that isn't so frustrating. I spent probably like 2 hours now out in the snow with my little underwater metal detector and the propane torch, the weed burner, searching for this little bracket that I don't have, just because I didn't want to have to make a new one, because I didn't have to want to get in there and get all the measurements and stuff, and then, you know, it like supposedly not work and kind of iffy about it. And then I got down in there, was taking some measurements and stuff, and then I was like, the last dimension that I need the length between the wire or the cable holder and the throttle lever on the oil pump. And so I was like, okay, now where's the throttle or cable that, you know, runs down to the oil pump? And I was looking around and I was like, wait, I can only find the actual throttle cable. Where the hell is the thing? And the thing is, it's mounted on the carburetors along with the bracket that I was missing. And holding this thing, like the whole time that I was cleaning the carburetors, I don't need to locate this anymore. So that's good. Now I just need to install it. Slick. Anywho, that'll be it for this video. I know I'm not ripping around the snowmobile. Spence is killing me too, but we'll get there. I'm just gonna leave it for the next video, because if I try it right now, it's gonna blow up. I want there to be at least 2 snowmobile videos. We can blow it up next time. Anyway, subscribe if you haven't. Like the video. Go check out some of the other content. There's more on the way. I know there hasn't been anything out for the past few days, but it's a coming. Thanks for watching. See you next time.